Uh, yeah, I got nothing for this intro. What's up, guys? It's Jake the Metalhead, and today we will be going over my Marvel TOKON roster. And. Jesus fucking Christ already. Jesus Christ. What's up, guys? It's Jake the Metalhead, and today we will be going over my Marvel TOKON roster. I know this is fucking long overdue, but I am finally getting to it. I am finally doing it today. And so, yeah, I'd say let's get into it. Actually, let me catch you guys up a little bit if you're new. Marvel TOKON Fighting Souls got announced, I believe, about a month or two ago as of recording this video. Pretty sure it's a month ago, but my brain is just my fucking brain. So I can't remember exactly, but I'm almost positive it's at least a month. And I ended up making a response video to Maximilian Dude's predicted roster for Marvel TOKON. And I said at the end of that video that I was going to make my own dream roster. And I am here to do that today. So we're going to get into it here. I have 40 picks. It was originally going to be 36, but I realized there were a couple of different characters that I wanted and also felt like should be on the roster that I was missing with just 36. And I didn't want to just completely overload my DLC options, which I do have a few DLC options. So yeah, I extended out the roster to 40 because this is my dream list. And also, again, Tekken 6 had 40, so why the fuck can't I have 40? So yeah, 40 characters, DLCs, and I also have a couple of suggestions for a couple of different bosses. So yeah, let's get into it. Okay, to start off, let's get the first 8 picks out of the way here because they're already confirmed. I can't exactly just, or at the very least it doesn't feel right if I just cut them out completely since they're already confirmed, so I might as well just stick with it. So I have Captain America, Iron Man, Ms. Marvel, Kamala Khan, Storm, Doctor Doom, Star-Lord, Robbie Reyes as Ghost Rider, and Spider-Man. And yes, I just read that off my notebook because there is no fucking way I'm going to get through one take and remember all of them off the top of my head. I am for sure was going to miss one if I tried to do so because, again, it's me and it's my brain. So, yeah, there was no way I was getting through one take without just reading all of them. But yeah, overall, I think this is a very good starting pick for characters, especially just to show off, like, what the game mechanics are and like what you can do in the game, and also like what you can do just as a team and all that stuff. And yeah, I think this was just a good showcase of how the mechanics work and all that. So yeah. Number 9 is Wolverine because, like I said also in the last video, he is the X-Man. How the hell are you gonna have the X-Men in a Marvel game, period, or just anything Marvel related? If you're going to have the X-Men, you have to have Wolverine, because how are you not going to have Wolverine? He's a really good fast-paced character, and also, like I said, he's like the X-Men and is also one of the most recognizable characters from Marvel, period. So, yeah, I think it is I think it is especially... Jesus Christ. I think it is especially appropriate that he is in here, especially if we are going to have X-Men on this roster. So, yes, Wolverine is number 9. Speaking of recognizable faces, and faces that probably should be here, number 10 is Wolverine. Number 10 is Hulk. And yeah, he is one of the most recognizable faces, again, in Marvel. And is also just a really good pick for a tanky character. And Max even said this in his predicted roster video that, like, I think Hulk will forever have a spot on a roster for any Marvel fighting game, just due to the fact of, again, one of the most recognizable faces, and he is, like, one of the perfect picks for a tanky, really buff, like, just really big character. He's the perfect big man character for any fighting game, basically. I would really like to see how they make him move and how they, like, just, I don't know. I would really like to see how they use him in this game. So, yeah, I think he's a really good pick and all that. So, yeah, Number 10 is the Hulk. Number 11 is Daredevil, and I think that it is very long overdue that we have Daredevil in a fighting game, or that we have Daredevil in a big Marvel game, period. He has been getting a lot of, I wouldn't say love, but like he's been getting a lot of recognition recently. Let's just say that. But regardless of whether you think Daredevil Born Again is shit or not, Daredevil is one of the coolest Marvel characters out there. And I think he can put his moveset to really good use. And I think that, again, he's just a perfect character just because of like his martial arts that he uses, the billy clubs that he uses. He's just the perfect, like, fast character and like the perfect rush down character, or at least one of them, for a fighting game, especially for a Marvel game. And yeah, I think it's long overdue that he's ever been in a fighting game. So yeah, Daredevil is number 11. Number 12 can kind of go hand in hand just because like they kind of have like mostly the same move set aside from like maybe like one or two moves. But number 12 is going to be either Colossus or Luke Cage. And I think it's appropriate that we have another big tanky character in here. If you were to ask me personally, I love both of these characters, but I think I may have to go Luke Cage just because I've liked him more as a character, I believe. And also, yeah, just him in the Netflix series is just really good. Freaking Luke Cage season... Really? Luke Cage Season 1 is absolutely goated in my opinion, and anybody who disagrees with that can try me, and yeah, no, I will not be hearing arguments about that. I have not seen Season 2. I am just really fucking lazy when it comes to TV shows, and yeah, I haven't seen that one yet, but for me personally, Season 1 is absolutely goated, and I would prefer him to be here personally. But like I said, these guys would have mostly the same move set. So I think either or could be here. So yeah, number 12 is either Colossus or Luke Cage. Number 13, speaking of characters who are long overdue to be in a fighting game, Blade. Blade, for me personally, is easily one of the coolest Marvel characters in Marvel. And so... yeah, one of the coolest Marvel characters in Marvel, because yeah, that fucking makes sense. In my opinion, Blade is one of the coolest characters that Marvel has at their disposal, and also, in my opinion, has like two of the best movies. I could care less what anybody says. Blade 1 and 2 for me personally are goated. 3 is alright if you want to just turn your fucking brain off, and also if you want to just read like the behind the scenes madness and just see how bad fucking Wesley Snipes was on that fucking movie. But point still stands. Blade 1 and 2 are goated, and also Blade as a character in my opinion is goated. There are so many different weapons that like you can use from the movies, that you can use from the comics, that like, and like it's also just due to the fact of like the man already uses kung fu and a fucking sword, so like you probably don't need like too much else. But still, Blade, regardless of that, also has plenty of other weapons at his disposal. And again, it has been long overdue since he's had that much love from Marvel, despite the fact that he comes out in like a month and a half in Marvel Rivals. But the point still stands. Blade deserves some more love. Also, Sony, where the hell is that Blade video game that you guys announced like 2 years ago and just never said anything fucking else about? Where the fuck is it? Come on.
You're tasting nut. Come.
So yeah, with that, Blade is number 13. Number 13, that is a very appropriate number for Blade. I really hope that is a fucking plane. Ah, fuck it. Number 14 is where we get into the weird picks. Doc Ock. Yeah. Doc Ock would be one of those characters that, like, is definitely a weird pick with, like, how he moves and how he would attack. And is also just, like, really interesting and can really get the creative juices flowing of, like, how would he attack? What would his combos look like? What would he do as like assists or anything like that? So yeah, for the first like really weird pick, and also again due to the fact of he deserves some more recognition and all that stuff, despite being the main villain in Spider-Man 1 for the PS4. Yeah, I think he deserves some more recognition. So yeah, number 14 was it? Yeah, 14 was Doc Ock. Number 15 is Deadpool. How the hell are you gonna have a Marvel game at this point and not have fucking Deadpool in this shit? Deadpool now is easily one of the most, if not the most popular Marvel character next to Spider-Man that the MCU or Marvel as a whole has. Mainly due to the fact that his movies were so goddamn good and did so much to put him on the map and just absolutely nailed how screwy and fucked up of a character he can be. So yeah, and we've also seen what a moveset from him could look like and how just absolutely fucking insane a moveset from him can look like in Marvel vs. Capcom 3. And yeah, that shit would just be breaking the fourth wall, so many different references. I feel like they're gonna have to jump through some legal loopholes in order to get freaking Deadpool to say half of the shit that he should be saying, but that's besides the point. I would even take Gwenpool if for some weird fucking reason you don't want Deadpool and you just want to be contrarian and you want to be different, but I highly doubt the Arc System Works is going to do that. So yeah, I would take Gwenpool if, again, for some weird fucking out of left field reason they don't want to put Deadpool into the game, or if this thing's just going to be rated T for teen and they're just can't put Deadpool in it in the same way that they want to, and they want to just tone it down a little bit. Yeah, I would take Gwenpool in that case. But if you're gonna make it rated M, and you're gonna, or even just the fact of like, just do Deadpool. Just do Deadpool. So yeah, number 15 is Deadpool. Number 16 is Magneto, for him being one of the biggest antagonists in the X-Men and also just one of the biggest antagonists that Marvel has, period. I think it is highly appropriate that you would have him in here, especially since, like, I mean, this goes for, like, most of the characters on this list, and also, like, just most of the characters that probably would end up making into this game anyways. You already have the blueprint for a moveset for Magneto, so like you can already like put him in here and all that stuff. But yeah, like you can't put the X-Men in here and just not have the biggest villain that they have in here. So yeah, I think Magneto is a pick that has to be here if we're putting in the X-Men. So yeah, number 16 is Magneto. Number 17 is Mysterio. I think he would be a crazy weird pick. You could also make him like a weird crazy sub boss as well, but I think it would be really cool as a playable character just because like you could make him kind of like I don't know, you could like give him like the same powers that he would have in like his more illusional form, or you could completely like just make up his move set and just the possibilities with Mysterio I feel like are endless. And also, I kind of just want to see what kind of crazy ultimate this motherfucker would have. So, yeah, I think it would be a really dope pick. And also just a really weird pick as well. So, yeah, number 17. Yes, 17 is Mysterio. Yeah, I'm going to be looking at the notebook for a little bit, for a couple of times, because, again, my brain is fucking stupid. So, yeah. Number 18 is Nightcrawler. He would be like the perfect rushdown next to what the fuck? Number 18 is Nightcrawler. He would be like the perfect rushdown character next to guys like Spider-Man and Daredevil, because you could just make him teleport like absolutely crazy and just make him like one of the fastest characters in this game. And for a game like this that's going to be similar to Marvel vs. Capcom, I think it would be absolutely appropriate and perfect to have really fast characters. And yeah, I think Nightcrawler is one of them. And again, he doesn't get not enough recognition outside of like just the X-Men 97 cartoons. And also like it has been a while since he's been in a video game, hasn't he? Yeah, no. Put him in here, motherfuckers. Put him in here. So with that, number 18 is Nightcrawler. Number 19, for the same reasons basically, is Quicksilver. Again, would be one of the best rushdown characters if you know how to use him. I think he would be a cool character to like, he would be like easy to pick up but like hard to master. I think he can absolutely do something like that just due to the fact of like how fast I think he should be moving. And yeah, I think Quicksilver is a really cool character and doesn't get, again, enough love outside of the MCU, outside of one fucking movie. Like, still sucks that he got killed off in fucking Age of Ultron, so yeah. I think he deserves some more spotlight, and yeah, I just think Quicksilver's another cool character. So yeah, number 19 is Quicksilver. Number 20 is Black Panther. He is a really cool character. He's, again, one of the most popular Avengers. I think he should be in the game, and I do think, honestly, he's probably going to make it into the game, but I also just really like Black Panther as a character. And also, Thorky's Arcade, when he was making his revamped MVC4 roster, right around the time that this got announced, brought up a really good point. No character should have their only playable appearance in Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. Not a whole lot of characters deserve to have their only playable appearance in a fighting game like that to be Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. So, yeah, we need some redemption. We need some redemption for Black Panther. So, yeah. Number 20 is Black Panther. Number 21 is Venom. Again, is one of the most recognizable of Spider-Man's Rogues Gallery. And is another pick that I feel like should be here and also just should be like in a fighting game with Spider-Man, period. Especially considering the fact of like, I'm going to sound a lot like Max here, but like, I think it is appropriate due to the fact of just how popular Venom was in MVC2. And yeah, again, nobody deserves their returning spot neither to be Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. So yeah, we need justice for Venom. We need justice for Black Panther. And yeah, Venom is just a really cool character. And I would love to see what kind of wacky shit that they come up with his moveset. And I also kind of want to see what kind of wacky shit that they come up with for his ultimate too. So, yeah, I think it would be really sick. Number 21 is Venom. Number 22, 23, 24, and 25 is all of the Fantastic Four. Yes, I just did it like that. And yes, they are not the very first picks because, of course, I completely forgot to even put them on when I was making the list. And if I do this list out of order than what I have written down, it's just going to be a complete clusterfuck. So yeah, that's how I'm doing it because, once again, I'm a complete fucking dumbass. So yeah, the next 4 spots are going to the Fantastic Four. And they just bring so much variety to the game, in my opinion, because again, like, you can have them mixed and matched up with different characters. You can have them as one full team. And also, yeah, I just think they're a really cool team. And they're like one of the most recognizable faces of Marvel. And I think it is highly appropriate for them to be in a 4v4 fighting game. And also, yes, despite the fact that they're all in Marvel Rivals, I still don't think they get enough love. Like, it took so many years to get a new Fantastic Four movie. And yeah, they are just long overdue for some more love from Marvel. So yeah, the next 4 spots go to the Fantastic Four. Number 26, yet again, is this little international terrorist, fucking Jeff the Land Shark. I'm gonna be fully real. One of the reasons why I want Jeff to be in this game is so I can beat the living shit out of him in the practice range. Just due to the fact that I know a couple of people in Marvel Rivals who play Jeff like he's a DPS and are absolute fucking menaces with him. And I've also have died to Jeff's ultimate so many goddamn times I can't even fucking count it. So one of the reasons why he is here is just so I can go into the practice dojo or the practice range or whatever the hell you want to call it and just beat the living fuck out of him. But still, Jeff is another weird character. I think we could come up with a really weird move set with him. And also, he has gained so much popularity thanks to Marvel Rivals again, because before that game, he was a complete unknown. And now everybody loves him that plays him, and everybody who doesn't play Jeff just absolutely fucking hate him. So, yeah, I think it would be a really crazy character to put in here. And I think with how popular he's gotten in, I think he is appropriate to put in here. So, yeah, the next pick goes to Jeff. Yeah. Number 27 is Carol Danvers, Captain Marvel, Ms. Marvel, whatever you want to call her. I think she's a given that she's going to be in the game, and I think she would be a pretty cool character to play as. I feel like she would be like a simple character to play as too. Just, I guess, kind of like the Superman type from Injustice, or as close as they can get to that maybe. But yeah, I think she would be in here just because of the fact that she's one of the most well-known Marvel characters, despite the fact that like so many people hate her and all that stuff, which the MCU with her, for me personally, can be a little 50-50, but I don't think that anything that she's done has been like absolutely horrendous in the MCU. However, if you're gonna put Captain Marvel in here, the only real condition that would be really, really cool with her being in here is that they have her Miss Marvel costume as her alternate skin. Because this is the Carol Danvers I grew up with. This is the Carol Danvers I know. So, yeah, under those conditions, Captain Marvel is number 27. Okay, time to get fucking stupid. Number 28 is Iron Fist, solely due to the fact of... You know what? Fuck it. Number 28 is either Shang-Chi or Iron Fist, solely due to the fact that every single fighting game needs a fucking Bruce Lee-like. But yeah, I know these two have like very different power sets, but I think the concept would still be the same. You would basically just be putting a Bruce Lee-like in a fighting game, and I think both of these picks would be cool, and like it could be like either or. I like Iron Fist as a character, and that's a character that I grew up with, but also I'd be cool with Shang-Chi because in my personal opinion, Shang-Chi and the Ten Rings is one of the most underrated MCU movies, but that's also due to the fact of like I went into it just wanting just some like, not to be weird or anything, but like just some like Saturday morning kung fu type shit, and just have at the very least the fight scenes be cool, and I was not disappointed with it. So yeah, I really dug Shang-Chi's movie, and I think Iron Fist is also a cool character too, but I think they probably would choose Iron Fist, unfortunately, just due to the fact of like he's gained so much popularity on the Marvel Rivals. And I know I keep going back to Marvel Rivals a lot, but that's just due to the fact that it's one of the biggest hero shooters, if not the biggest hero shooter in the world right now. So I feel it's appropriate to go back to it with how popular it's gotten. So yeah, I think Iron Fist or Shang-Chi would work for this spot. So yeah, number 28 is Iron Fist or Shang-Chi. Speaking of popularity in Marvel Rivals, number 29 is Emma Frost. I think she could have a really crazy moveset and kind of make her like a stance character too, just due to the fact of... I'm trying to fix this fucking loop in my hair. This is what I get for not fucking washing my hair before I do this shit. Come on. Come on. Okay, I think... Motherfucker. Okay, I think we're good. But yeah, I think what the fuck? I think Emma Frost would be a really cool character, especially like making her diamond form and her regular form like two different forms and kind of making her almost like a stance character. I think there is a whole hell of a lot that you can do with her. And I would also, again, just like to see what the ultimate looks like and what they would do with her in terms of a moveset and all that stuff. So, yeah, I think Emma Frost is a really cool character. And again, popular in Marvel Rivals, one of the most popular in Marvel Rivals, in my opinion. So, yeah, number 29 is Emma Frost. Number 30, and I don't know if this is just due to the fact that I just got done playing Spider-Man 2, and I think it's absolutely goated and gets so much more hate than it deserves, but number 30 is Kraven. Kraven is so fucking cool, and Spider-Man 2, in my personal opinion, did him justice and made him so freaking cool and did such a good job with him. And also needs some redemption from the movie too. Like Craven's been like 50-50 recently on like how he's been in terms of like how well he's been written. Because you have Spider-Man 2 on one hand, and then the other hand you have the Kraven the Hunter movie, which I heard wasn't like all that bad. At least not as bad as fucking Morbius. But still, it's the matter of the fact of what's it called? The matter of the fact that Kraven is such a cool character. And there's also a lot that you can add to his moveset too. You can give him a spear. You can make him like almost like a grappler as well. You can give him a crossbow to use. You can maybe like give him a net to like trap enemies to like combo them up and all that stuff. Or like just set up a combo. So yeah, I think there's a lot that you can do with Kraven here. And Kraven is really cool. And if you couldn't tell, I just really like Kraven. So yeah, number 30 is him. Number 31, another weird pick would be Sentry slash Void. And I don't know if this is how it works in the comics where like he can switch between Sentry and Void, or like he only has switched to Void, like not exactly by choice or anything like that. But I would think it would be a really cool thing to kind of make it like Tira from Soul Calibur, how like she has the more happy-go-lucky stance where like she's like way more offensive and all that stuff, and then she has her more emo stance where she's like more defensive but also just way more brutal. I think they could do a thing like that with Sentry and Void. Make Sentry like obviously like make him good, but like give him like just like his normal stance and like just make him like maybe like not too special, but still make him worth playing. And then you can like switch to Void midway through and again make it kind of like a stance character and like just turn him into Void and just make his moveset absolutely vicious and brutal. And yeah, I think you can do a lot with Sentry and Void. So yeah, they're number 31. Number 32, a character again I think would probably end up making it into the game, and I think would be also appropriate to have. There's also a bit of a weird pick too, no pun intended, but Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange I think is a really sick character, and I think there is a lot that you could do with him. And also I would again like to see just how absolutely insane and crazy his super or ultimate move is, or if they're doing it like Street Fighter, where they have like the different levels for ultimates, and they have like a level 1, level 2, level 3, like just have him be like a crazy cinematic. I just want to see what they do for his ultimate move. That's what I'm trying to fucking say here. Yeah, I think there's a lot of weird stuff that you could do with him. I think there's a lot of cool stuff you can do with him. And yeah, I think Doctor Strange is a really good pick, and again has gained so much popularity from the MCU and Marvel Rivals. I think it's absolutely appropriate to have him here. So yeah, number 32 is Strange. Number 33 is Cyclops. I think he is another character that is highly appropriate to have here, especially if you're going to have the X-Men. He's like one of the most popular X-Men, probably next, or like one of the most well-known, and probably also one of the most important X-Men next to like guys like Jean Grey, Wolverine, who the fuck was I just thinking of? Wheelchair guy. Oh, fuck. Come on, dude. I just had him. Professor X. Why the fuck didn't I remember that? I'm fucking stupid. But yeah, and I think Cyclops, you don't really need to do too much special stuff with him. Just make him do like crazy stuff with his eye lasers and all that. And also just give him like the regular fight, or like just like not like the regular fight, but like make him do like some like martial arts and all that stuff. You like I said, you don't really need to do anything too special with Cyclops. Just make him really fun to play. And you can also just make him really simple. And I think he would be a good like starter character, and like a good like basically kind of like a Ryu or a Terry from King of Fighters. Like make him a good starter character and just make him a good character to like learn the game and all that stuff. So yeah, next pick is Cyclops. Number 34 is Moon Knight. And before you say, oh my god, this is basically just going to be Batman in the game, and you're totally wrong. He's schizophrenic Batman. But yes, there is a lot of similarities that Moon Knight has to Superman. To Batman, minus the schizophrenia, but still, the point still stands. You can make him like glide around the ring. You can make him like use his batarangs, his moonerangs. I forget exactly what they're called. I sound like a total fucking pleb, like a total fucking poser talking about Moon Knight, but I think he's a really cool character. I think there's a lot you can do with him. And also do the fact of like, if I'm not mistaken, he also uses a bow staff and also uses guns at some point. So like, yeah, I think there's a lot that you could do with him. And I think he's just a really cool character. And again, I think with him not having too many crazy superpowers, aside from the schizophrenia, he would be a really good pick for a fighting game, in my opinion, next to picks like Blade, or Iron Fist, or Shang-Chi, or Daredevil. So, yeah, next pick is Moon Knight. Number 35 is Shocker, because just like how every fighting game needs a Bruce Lee-like, every fighting game needs a joke character. There's not a whole lot else here to really explain it. I mean, technically Deadpool kind of already is the joke character, but like you need an actual joke character that's like really hard to use and like really hard to master. Kind of like Dan from Street Fighter. He's only really good if you really know how to play the game and you really practice with him and you really know how to use him well. So yeah, I think Shocker could be that type of character. So yeah, number 35, Shocker. Number 36 is Sandman, and this pick came to me when I was like trying to figure out who else to put in here. I was trying to find not just another fucking like zoner, Rushdown, or just like another person who only uses really karate and like maybe one other weapon, like picks like Elektra or Bullseye or anything like that. My crazy, stupid ass was really fighting hard to just not give into the urge to just put Black Cat on this fucking list. But clearly I succeeded with that. So yeah, I think Sandman you could do a lot of really crazy stuff with. And I think you can like really make a crazy moveset. Kind of like similar to Venom's, where like he can use the sand to like morph like different things and like morph different weapons for himself. And like, yeah, I think Sandman again would have like a really screwy moveset, and I think it would be a really cool and interesting pick here. So yeah, next pick is Sandman. Number 37 is James Bucky Buchanan Barnes, aka the Winter Soldier, aka Bucky. I think that he would be a really cool character and a really interesting character, and is also again one of the coolest characters that Marvel has. And also is one of the reasons why I extended out this list, because I realized that I completely forgot Bucky. And you can't just forget Bucky at this point. So yeah, I think there's a lot to make him a little more different, especially with like Marvel Rivals showing that he has like the more tentacle grabby things, that tendrils that come out of his arm. So like you can make like a grab move where you like bring your opponent closer and then just start comboing him up. And yeah, I just think there's a lot of cool stuff you can do with Bucky. So yeah, number 37 is Bucky. Number 38 is Adam Warlock, and I think this is one of the cases where he needs some redemption from Marvel Rivals, due to the fact that this man is supposed to be one of the most powerful characters in the Marvel Universe, and you just stick him with a staff and nothing else. I think it would be funny if you still used the staff, but you obviously have to make him way more powerful, and you gotta make him Adam Warlock. Like, this is an excuse to just have another healer. This is not Adam Warlock. So, yeah, I think this is another character that needs to be done justice. And Adam Warlock, I think, absolutely deserves to be here. And I think he would be another really cool character. And another one of those characters, in my opinion, that would be, like, easy to pick up but hard to master. So, yeah, number 38 is Adam Warlock. Number 39 is Jean Grey / Phoenix, and the reason I have it like slash like that is because I think you could add like either or here, or you can make it another Sentry Void type character and just make her switch between Phoenix and Jean Grey, and well, yeah, just switch between Phoenix and regular Jean Grey. But I think there's a lot of other cool stuff that you can have here, and again, one of the most well-known X-Men next to Wolverine, Cyclops, and Professor X. And yeah, I think there's a lot of really cool stuff that you can do with her, and I think it is highly appropriate for her to be in a Marvel game like this. And also, this is just going to give a lot of flashbacks to anybody who played against her in Marvel vs. Capcom 3, if again they make her stupidly good. So yeah, that would be pretty funny to see a little bit. And yeah, I think she's just appropriate to be here. So yeah. Number 39 is Jean Grey and Phoenix. Jean Grey or Phoenix. My final pick for the base roster is Silver Surfer. He is one of the coolest characters, again, that Marvel has. And I think he is appropriate to be here as well. And there's, again, another really cool thing to like do with like again, a lot of weird stuff that you could do with him. Like, you can make him like just glide around all around the stage with his surfboard. You can maybe just like have it on his back and just have his surfboard be like a weapon, or he just brings it out for combos. Or you can also just, again, just have him glide around on the surfboard the entire stage. There's a lot of cool stuff that you can do here, especially since if Galactus is gonna be in the game as like a boss or something like that, then I highly suggest that Silver Surfer should be here. And also, again, I don't think that Silver Surfer is just going to be in the Fantastic Four movie. I think they will be in Marvel Doomsday, or Avengers Doomsday, excuse me. So yeah, I think it's a really cool pick to have here. And yeah, number 40 and my final pick is Silver Surfer. Okay, so that's the base roster. Let's get into the DLC. My first DLC pick is Miles Morales, because I think we need some characters to really just make the DLC memorable and make people really excited for the DLC. And I think a lot of people would be excited for the DLC if Miles was like the first character announced. And the reason he's not really on the main roster is because he plays mostly similar to Peter Parker, and I think it's also like there are other characters that should have just been on the main roster first next to Miles, despite the fact that I really like Miles as a character. So yeah, I think for the sake of hype, for the sake of having just another really cool character, and just for the sake of having something to look forward to for the first DLC, I think the first DLC should be Miles Morales. My next pick is Taskmaster, and you can kind of make him like, you can either make him like Makujin from Tekken, and you can make him like just completely copy another character's moveset, or you can make him like how he is in the comics, or like how they did in Marvel vs. Capcom 3, in which they made him like use a little bit of everybody's moveset, and I think that would be really sick to do. And yeah, especially if they were to go for a more like style of like the Spider-Man games, because I think they did him really, really well in the Spider-Man PS4 game. And yeah, I think Taskmaster is just a really cool character. And yeah, my next pick is Taskmaster. Taskmaster. Thank you. My third pick for DLC is Drax, and I think there's a lot of cool stuff that you can probably do with him. He's not like too special, but I think he would just be a good popular character to have. And also, yeah, I just like Drax as a character. So, yeah, I think it would be a really cool character to have here. And, yeah, nothing really else, nothing too special, just another cool character to have. So, yeah, my third pick is Drax. My fourth pick is another either or pick that you can do, and that's Beast and Sabretooth. And if I had to pick one, oh fuck, this is tougher than I thought. Oh fuck. You know what? My brain kind of says Sabretooth because we need more villains, but I think my heart is saying Beast. Mainly just due to the fact that Beast is one of my favorite characters, so... You know what? Yeah, screw it. I'm sorry, Sabretooth, but Beast is my next pick. I think there's just so much cool stuff that you can do with Beast, and the reason I had Beast and Sabretooth is because they would kind of play a little similar, but I think Beast would just be another really cool zoner character and would just be, well, not zoner, but rushdown. I think it would be another cool rushdown character, and I think there's a lot of other cool stuff, and also I think his moveset would just be like crazy acrobatic, and you would just be launching dudes across the arena. Basically, the main thing is that like Sabretooth I feel like is a little more grounded and doesn't usually fight any more nimble and isn't like really like hops around a stage a whole lot, at least from what I've played a little bit in Marvel vs. Capcom 2 thanks to the Marvel Fighting Game Collection or the Marvel vs. Capcom Collection. And yeah, I think Beast would offer a little more variety in that sense. And also I just think Beast is like a cooler character, and I just like Beast a little bit more as a character. So yeah, my next pick is Beast. Number 5, another insanely weird pick, and a pick that I would like to see what they come up with and see what they would do with Green Goblin. And I think Green Goblin is a really sick character, and obviously if you're gonna have Spider-Man in the game, you have to have Green Goblin, just due to the fact of like, next to Venom, Doc Ock, Sandman, and other names I can't remember off the top of my head right now, I think they should have Green Goblin because of the fact that he is one of Spider-Man's most one of his most well-known villains, and also just like one of his most important villains, or I would even argue his most important villain, period. So yeah, and also just due to the fact of like, I would like to see what they would do with his glider, with his flying bats, with his pumpkin bombs, and yeah, there's just a lot of cool stuff that I think they could do with him, and also he's just a really sick character. So yeah, my 5th pick is Green Goblin. My 6th pick is Gamora, and again, nothing too special. I think she would be a really sick character to have, and yeah, and I think it would also be another appropriate way to possibly get most of the Guardians of the Galaxy. And yeah, I just think she's a really sick pick, and she would be a really cool character to have, and nothing too special. She would probably just have a sword, or if you really want to give her like a gun or something, I think that would be cool too. But yeah, I just think she would be appropriate for the game, another appropriate fighting game character. And once again, no character deserves to have their only playable appearance in a fighting game be Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. Or I should have brought this up earlier, unless that's going to be Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite and Beyond. Thank you, Max, for that one. But yeah, my next pick is going to be Gamora. My 7th pick was going to be Rocket and or Groot, and I couldn't really decide. But now that I'm thinking about it, if we're going a little weirder with the picks, you kind of could just make them like one big character, and just make them one character where like you have the moveset of like, there are some moves that uses Rocket and his guns, and maybe like give him a rocket launcher, and maybe he can like hop off of Groot's back and like claw up the enemies or something like that. And then Groot obviously would be using a lot of like I don't want to say fucking Groot walls because I'm traumatized by those as well, but maybe like Groot walls to like send the enemies flying as like a launcher and like launching like tree stumps and all that stuff out of the air. And also the fact of if we're adding in Groot and Rocket as one character, then that would mean we just have all of the Guardians of the Galaxy. And yeah, I think that would be a really sick pick. And yeah, if we're going for all of the Guardians of the Galaxy, I think this is the way to do it. So yeah, my seventh? Yeah, my seventh pick is going to be Rocket and Groot as one. My eighth pick is going to be Punisher, and Punisher is, me personally, one of my favorite characters. And I think there's a lot that you can do with him, which isn't going to be a whole hell of a lot outside of just giving them a bunch of guns to use. But still, the point still stands. It would just be cool to have him in here, and he's also become one of the most popular Marvel characters, and or has also been one of the most popular Marvel characters. And yeah, I would think it would just be cool to have him in here, especially with him being another one of my personal favorites. So yeah, nothing too special. Just, again, you could probably just give him a bunch of guns to use. So yeah, my next pick is going to be the Punisher. My ninth pick for DLC is going to be Luna Snow. And I don't necessarily want her in the game, but I feel like she's going to end up getting in there. But I think she would still be pretty cool. She could use a lot of like Iceman's abilities and like use like sliding stuff and like launching icicles and stuff like that. And just, this sounds like absolutely fucking stupid, but like you get the point. She's an ice-based character, and she would be really cool, and you can make a really cool move set for her. So yeah, if I was gonna choose ice characters, I probably would prefer Iceman, but I would not also be disappointed if Luna Snow ended up being in the game. So yeah, my ninth pick is Luna Snow. My 10th pick is going to be Ant-Man. And another really weird pick, but I think, again, I know I'm using this excuse a lot, but he's another popular Marvel character. And also another one where it's just not going to be a conventional like character to use. Like, I feel like they would have to do like some weird shit in order to make Ant-Man work, but I think they can pull it off. And also, I kind of want to just see, again, the Ultimate. I think would be insane. So yeah, my next pick is going to be Ant-Man. And my next pick for DLC, just to make it a little more appropriate after that, would be Wasp. I think, again, she would be a really cool character, and I think there's a little bit more that you could do with Wasp than Ant-Man. And yeah, I think if you're gonna have Ant-Man in here, it would be only appropriate to have Wasp. So yeah, my next pick is also gonna be Wasp. My next pick is Ultron, and I think if you're going to have Iron Man and Ant-Man in this game, then it's only appropriate that you have their main creation and their main bad guy, Ultron. And also just due to the fact of, I think Ultron is a world-ending villain, and I think he is a big enough threat and a good enough threat to be in here, and I think they could have like a really cool move set for him. And again, to the point, nobody deserves their only playable appearance to be Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. But yeah, I think you would have a really cool move set, especially if you were to like make him play like a little bit like Sentinel, and maybe bring out like one of his Ultron drones and have him do a little bit of fighting as well, or maybe like use him in a combo, and then maybe for like an ultimate he just summons out an army of them. And yeah, there's just a lot of cool stuff that you can do with Ultron, and I think he's one of the best Marvel villains that they have, and I don't feel like he is utilized enough, and utilized well enough for that matter. So yeah, my next pick is Ultron. My next pick is Jubilee, because I think she would have a really weird move set, and it would also be cool to have her first playable appearance in a game in God knows how many years. And yeah, I think she would be a really cool pick. And I'm kind of also agree with Max that it does suck that she was never like playable in like Marvel vs. Capcom 2 or Marvel vs. Capcom 3, because I think there is a lot that they can do with her. And yeah, I just think she would be really cool. And yeah, she is the weirdo X-Men pick. So yeah, my next pick is going to be Jubilee.
Come.
My next pick is going to be Rogue. And again, I think it would be appropriate for her to be in here, and I think she's one of the cooler X-Men. And I don't know exactly like what her moveset would be though, but I think it would just be cool for her to be in here, and I think it would be interesting to see what they end up coming up with. And yeah, I just think Rogue's a really cool character, so my next pick is going to be Rogue. Nothing too special again, just Rogue. My next pick is another really weird one, and this is probably going to be the most obscure pick on here. Morgan Le Fay. I have zero fucking clue what her character is, and I have absolutely no clue what or who she is as a character. I just played her a little bit of Marvel Future Fight. I saw the type of damage that she can put out, and I max leveled her, and she is absolutely insane if you know how to use her, and you like upgrade her enough rather, and you know how to use her and all that stuff. And Morgan Le Fay, I think, is just a really cool character, and she would have just an absolutely insane moveset. So yeah, my next pick is going to be Morgan Le Fay. My next pick is going to be Gambit, because I feel like if you're going to have Rogue in here, then you got to have Gambit. And also just due to the fact of, again, this would be his first playable appearance in God knows how many years. And I think Gambit is just a really cool character, and it's also dope that he got a lot of love in X-Men and Wolverine, Deadpool and Wolverine. And yeah, I love Gambit as a character. Also, again, you could create a really dope moveset that, and for any of the characters that are repeats from Marvel vs. Capcom, I don't expect the same moveset, and I think it would be really cool to come up with a different type of moveset. Obviously, you'd have to use like their same powers and all that stuff. But yeah, I think it would be a really cool pick. Speaking of characters who had their first appearance in God knows how many years, my next pick is going to be Juggernaut. And yeah, I really like Juggernaut as a character. And again, nothing too special, just something to like switch it up and get another really tanky character in here. And yeah, I think it would have, again, a cool moveset. And again, nothing too special, but I think it would be appropriate for another tanky character. And so, yeah. And I just really like Juggernaut. So, yeah. My next pick is the Juggernaut. Bitch. My next pick is Psylocke, and I do think she would be a little more along the same lines of just using martial arts and a sword. But at the same time, there is more that you can do with her moveset, especially with what we've seen in Marvel Rivals. There's a lot more that you can do than just psionic sword and martial arts and all that stuff. So yeah, I think she would be another cool character to have in here, and also she's gotten popular in Marvel Rivals way more, again, for obvious reasons. So yeah, my next pick is going to be Psylocke. My final pick is going to be Scorpion, and again, I think he would have a really weird moveset, and also just for the sake of possibly getting most of, if not a full Sinister Six team in here, I think it would be really cool to have him in here, and I would like to see what they end up coming up with for him, with him maybe being like a zoner and a rushdown character, to where like you use his like tail to like shoot out like a laser beam and all that stuff, and you like use his tail and like combos and stuff like that. And I think Scorpion would just be a cool character to have in here, and I would like to see what they come up with. So yeah, my final pick for DLC will be Scorpion. Okay, so the next bit here for the sub bosses and final bosses aren't necessarily like, I wouldn't want like obviously all of them in the game, or like I don't expect all of them to be in the game, although I think it would be really sick. But there's a couple of sub and final boss ideas that I think would be really sick to have. And that first one is going to be Carnage. Carnage, I think, would be an absolutely insane sub boss. You basically just make him like Wolverine. The fuck, Wolverine? You make him like Venom. You make him like Venom, except you make him faster and like more powerful and stuff. And for like the singular character sub and final bosses, you can just do what KOF kind of does and just give them like a slightly bigger health bar. And so this way, like, it's not like the thing of like you only have to like bring in one character to kill them. And so, yeah, I think Carnage would be an absolutely insane and tough sub boss. And yeah, I think it would be really sick to have him. So yeah, my first pick for sub bosses would be Carnage. My next pick for sub bosses would be Hela, and I feel like this could go like either or. You can either have her like, I don't know if she would have these or if she does have these powers in the comics or anything like that, but you can make her kind of like Galactus in MVC3, where like you make her like really big and like you have her just like destroying the stage and like just smashing the stage around and all that stuff. And I don't know, I think she would be a really sick character to have in here, and I think there's a lot that you could do with her regardless of whether you make her a Galactus type or you just have her like just regular size on the ground and fighting. And I think you can make her a really tough boss to have. So yeah, my next pick for sub bosses is Hela. This one I feel like for sure probably should be a bigger one, but my next pick is going to be Sentinel. And I think it's appropriate to have Sentinel in here, and I think there's even a bigger version or like a more powerful version of Sentinel. Here, give me a second. Let me look this up. So yeah, I just looked it up, and I knew for a fact that there was a more powerful version that I could just put here other than just a Sentinel, and there absolutely is, and his name is Nimrod. I laugh, but that dude would absolutely fucking annihilate me. But yeah, I think it would be really cool to have like more powerful version of a Sentinel other than just a Sentinel. So yeah, I think they can make him a really tough boss, and I think they can make him really strong and all that. And that's basically just like the point of like the sub and final bosses. Just make a really tough boss fight to just give you the replayability and make it so like you'll be coming back to see who else you can beat them with and when you do eventually beat them, or who you can beat them with, or who you need to switch to in order to beat them with. So yeah, I think it would be really cool to have them here, and also give Nimrod a little bit more recognition, because as you can clearly see, I had to stop the video for a second and look him up. But yeah, I think Nimrod would be a good sub-boss pick, so he's my next pick. My next pick would be a conglomerate of characters that are on the roster, but make it like a Sinister Six type, and make it so like you have to face a full team, and just make that kind of like the sub-boss. Like make it like, who the hell do I have in here? Mysterio, Doc Ock, Sandman. I guess the other person would be Shocker. And then they could just switch around the teams a little bit too once Green Goblin would come out for DLC, and also Scorpion. Oh yeah, and Kraven's in here too. I'm fucking stupid. But yeah, just make a conglomerate of the Sinister Six and have them switch out characters maybe for like each arcade run that you do. So this way it's still a little more unpredictable. So this way you have to like switch up your fighting style a little bit to what's it called? What the hell is the word I'm looking for? Like to come to like adapt to their moveset. There we go. I'm pretty sure that's the word I was looking for, but still, same difference. Make it so you can like, you have to like switch up your play style a little bit and like switch things up to adapt to having the different team. And yeah, I think that would be a really cool thing to do with them. So my next pick is the Sinister Six for a sub-boss. My next pick would either be Dark Phoenix Jean or Madeline Pryor, just due to the fact of I feel like they would play like relatively the same, because if I'm not mistaken, Madeline Pryor is a clone of Jean who basically has like all of her same powers, and also has held or was a holder of Dark Phoenix for a little bit. So yeah, and I feel like Dark Phoenix is a little more powerful than just regular Phoenix, if I'm not mistaken. That one I might be just pulling out of my ass, but yeah. I think Madeline Pryor or Dark Phoenix Jean would be a good pick here for a sub-boss. My next pick is Fing Fang Foom. And I know that sounds absolutely fucking ridiculous what I just said. So, yeah. If you don't know, he's just a giant dragon, basically. He's technically an Iron Man villain. And he also wears pants sometimes. But still, I think it would be a good, like, sub-boss character just to have, like, a really big character to fight as well. Like, kind of make him like the Azazel, except not as range-inducing and not as I want to find whoever created this character and kick him in the nuts type deal. But still, he would be a really cool, like, just really big physically character to have as a sub-boss. And, yeah, I haven't seen this man, or this dragon, I should say, in a Marvel game, period, probably since Marvel Ultimate Alliance. So, yeah, we need to get him back in here. So, my next pick for a sub-boss is Fin Fang Foom. My next pick, for the basically same reasons, would be Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur. And you would make them, again, like, one character, since, like, I believe Moon Girl is the one who actually controls Devil Dinosaur. So, like, you would, like, have her, like, on Devil Dinosaur's back or his head or whatever. And, yeah, just basically just a giant fucking dinosaur to fight. So, yeah. Basically just for the same reasons as Fing Fang Foom, my next pick is Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur. And now my final pick for a sub-boss would be Spot, in which I know it seems like he's a bit of a joke character at first, but if you've seen the second Spider-Verse movie, I believe it's Into the Spider-Verse, or like Across the Spider-Verse. I can't remember. I know it's the second Spider-Verse movie. I just can't remember because it's been a while since I've seen it. But yeah, they turned an absolute joke character into like basically a world-ending threat. And I think based off of that alone, they easily could give him like a crazy difficult moveset to work with. So yeah, my final pick actually for sub bosses would be Spot. Okay, never mind. I have an actual final pick for sub bosses, and that's MODOK. Mainly just due to the fact of like he's crazy powerful, and he has really powerful moves, and he would have a crazier moveset. But I don't think he's like a world-ending villain on like the same level as like Doom or Thanos or Ultron or anybody like that. But it would still be cool to have him in here. So yeah, I think making him a final boss would have been a little overkill. So yeah, my final suggestion for a sub-boss would be MODOK. And now we move on to my picks for final bosses. And the first one would be Thanos with his Infinity Gauntlet, because you would be able to make the craziest, possibly most powerful, and most annoying as fuck final boss. Even more annoying than Shao Kahn and Mortal Kombat 9. And yeah, I think he would be a really good final boss, and also just due to the fact of he is a world-ending threat, and he is one of, if not possibly the most well-known Marvel villain. So yeah, I think it would be appropriate to have Thanos in here as a final boss. My next pick, possibly on the same level as him, would be Dormammu. And I think he would have a really screwy moveset. And we, again, kind of also saw what his moveset would look like in Marvel vs. Capcom 3. But I think we could be able to take that to a next level and make him the final boss and make him really fucking screwy. And again, really a freaking annoying to fight or have to fight. So yeah, I think another final boss pick would be Dormammu. My next pick would kind of be a little bit of a repeat, but I just can't fucking help it because I absolutely loved him in Marvel vs. Capcom 3, but Galactus. I feel like he would be a good go-to final boss, and if you really, for whatever reason, don't want to do Thanos or Dormammu, or my next pick for that matter, but yeah, Galactus is another really cool villain, and up until I was properly introduced to Thanos and properly knew what Thanos could do, Galactus was like the biggest bad guy in Marvel for me personally. So, yeah, he was like the big bad guy and was the world ending threat in Marvel for me when I was like probably up until I was about like 12 or 13 or so. So, yeah. So, yeah. Thanos. Galactus is my next pick for a final boss. And now, my final pick for a final boss. One that's kind of a little more out of left field, but I feel like you can do a lot with him. Mephisto. Basically, just put the devil in a video game. Just make the devil a final boss. And also, I feel like Mephisto doesn't really get enough attention. Probably because of the fact that he's basically the devil in Marvel form. But still, he would be a really sick character. And I feel like he would be on the same world-ending threat material as guys like Thanos or Ultron or Doctor Doom. And yeah, I think he would just be really cool to put in here. And if they make him a final boss, that would be absolutely insane, and that would be absolutely sick too. So yeah, Mephisto is my final pick. And also, before we end off this list, I forget exactly where I saw this one from. I think I found it in like, it was either one of Max's or another YouTuber's video talking about Marvel vs. Capcom, or no, not Marvel vs. Capcom, but like Marvel TOKON. I think it would be really sick because like I know she's like kind of her own main character, but I think it would also be really sick if you had Mystique as the random character slot, kind of like what they did for, I think his name is either 6 or 7 in fucking Street Fighter 5, but still kind of like along those same lines. Just make her technically the random character spot, and just make it so like she enters the stage and she turns into whatever character, and make it even so like she switches characters in between rounds. So yeah, I think that would be really sick to do. So yeah, that's my dream Marvel TOKON roster, and also my dreams for bosses in Marvel TOKON. So yeah, I think that would be really sick. So yeah, that's going to do it for me. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.